As you walk past the notice board, you notice 2 fluttering quests are nailed to the board.
We, of course, will not steal them, but we'll just read them. And then one of the other people in the group will steal them because we are reliably bad at things.
Axholm and Dragon Barrow.
Oh, it's a dwarven fortress. Dragon Slayer sword. That could be quite useful if you're fighting a dragon.
There is some sort of meme where basically you always find the item you need to kill the thing you are fighting, or right after you kill the thing you are fighting.
Axholm, if you look at it, it's an old dwarf fortress and they want to use it as a shelter in case the dragon attacks the town.
You've got to go to the mine to get on Johnny's portion.
You go wherever you want, mate. That is the questions, the quests that are posted on the board. Some guy had rode into town not long ago, buying supplies and wearing cold weather clothing, but so far you have to do most, if not all, of the quests that you are aware of.
I'm just here for the work. I'll do whatever's put in front of me.
Well, me and Shash need to do a constitution saving throw, don't we? Right, so I should be alright there, Dave.
It's difficulty 15, yeah? Right, the next day you feel better. Dave still feels like a bag of shit. And occasionally goes outside and throws up.
Right, but that means now, because of that rest, we've now got something like 5 days to get it done, John.
That's right.
So we need to get it done, John, because it takes a day just to get there. Let's go to John.
Okay, so you head out again, and are you following the road, or are you going to cut along the edge of the mountains?
We'll cut along the edge of the mountains.
Right, so you have a swift hike along the edge of the mountains. Cold air blows down from the mountain range as summer's starting to head towards autumn. You reach Mountain Toe Mine. The dwarves there are looking much cleaner and much better fed now that the were-rats have disappeared, shall we say. And you head up to them. Don John says, like, "Good eye, mates. Hope you got what we need, because I'm in a right tune out here."
Of course we do.
1 anti-lycanthropy potion and half a whale of Adam.
Adam is the best.
My day, they only got Dairy Lee.
Triangles.
Right, Don John takes the potion off you, takes a mighty swig, starts throwing up everywhere. God blimey! What in the hell? Are you sure this is going to work? Because Rick hasn't met him yet. This is Don John.
Okay.
You're at Mountain Toe Mine. Don John's offers you dinner, and he can't keep anything down himself, but he's very grateful. He coughs up the 100 gold. The mine is now up and running, and there's a bunch of unmarked graves at the back.
Now we're in the middle. Shall we take like a vote? We can either go to Dragon Barrow to get the sword, or we can go to Axholm.
Did we pick up the potions of healing when we went to say the crown?
No, because you rushed off. You didn't.
Well, I think wherever we're going next, we need to swing by the windmill on the way.
You've ordered potions of frost resistance or cold resistance or whatever the hell it's called. Okay? She said that was going to take a week. So they'll be ready in about 3-4 days.
If we're not going to Umbridge Windmill, we might as well go to Dragon Barrow. Then
it's further away.
But by the time we finish this task, the 3 or 4 days will elapsed, which in you'll have had the potions ready, and then on the way to our next quest,
you can move 6 hexes a day, like forced march. You can move 5 hexes a day, normal march, and you move 3 hexes a day and be stealth if you want. So that's how fast you can.
So it's 15, 16 hexes all in all that would need to travel from Mountain Toe Mine to Dragon Barrow, then to Fandlin and Umbridge Windmill. By the time we do that, we're talking 3 days of lapse, so we might as well go to Dragon Barrow first, because we don't need the potions. We've all got healing potions anyway. I've got 2. We've all got the healing spells for casting.
Also, does it seem like you quite like a sword? Fancy dragon sword?
Yes, it fucking does as well.
I'll follow your lead.
Right, so you hike north, crossing the Tribor Trail, and head towards Are you going along the edge of the wood and heading towards the location marked on your map, yeah?
Yeah, sounds decent.
Sounds like a very good plan.
So you get halfway there the first night. There's a cold wind comes in off the coast and occasional flurries of freezing rain. The temperature's definitely dropping in the area. And you spend an unpleasant and cold and drafty night on the way there.
It's not that unpleasant and cold and drafty. I put my tent up.
So you have a lovely warm tent in which to rest. As you approach the Dragon Barrow the next day, it's about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. It's grey and overcast again with the horrible rain. And you see a creature comes towards you holding a spear. It has the torso of a man and the legs and body of a horse, recognizing it as a centaur. It comes forward and raises its hand in a peaceful greeting.
I mutter the words buckaroo under my breath.
I like this man very much.
Well met, fellows, it says as it slowly clops towards you.
What languages is it speaking? Common?
Common. So, what do you do as he comes forward and raises his hand?
Say hello, noble steed.
I beg your pardon, steed.
I do not think you like compared to a horse, of course. We are going to have no friends again, and probably die.
Great centaur, how are you?
Nay, that is not the way to do it.
Oh, it's a centaur.
Yeah, what did you think it was?
I thought it was a donkey.
Where do mythical creatures go on holiday?
Where?
Centaur Park.
Oh!
Now the centaur gets closer, you see he's clad in battle armour.
Be ye questing?
It says, controlling the edge of the wood. Neverwinter Wood has become overrun with orcs in league with half-orc spellcasters.
But no gnolls.
No, I haven't seen a gnoll in months. He says, apparently deep in the forest there's a hill surrounded by standing stones where they practice their foul magics, and we've been looking for it.
Not anymore.
Well, we fill him in. I stand with both hands on hips and say, "Oh, story have we to tell ye?" We fill him in.
And then at the appropriate moment, you pull your axe out and wave it about, like describing how you killed Gothat, and go, "Oh, it's made this, you know."
Yes, we did.
And I'll whip me bagpipes out and provide the accompaniment. You know, like one of them silent movie things.
Yes. So we have a short montage where
all you can see is like my hands moving and like a couple of faces with the axe, like
gesticulating wildly and bagpipes in the background. This is good news. If you show him on your map where it is, he will happily take it back to his tribe and pass it on.
Right, so we'll give him the coordinates on the map.
You show him on the map, he goes, right, at the edge of the river there.
We had not noticed the river.
He says, I'll travel north with you a while if you're travelling up that way.
We're only going to be about half a day's march, mate, if that.
Where are you heading? There's nothing out here.
Dragon Barrow, just up there.
He does that.
Pointing northwest.
Dragon Barrow. Ooh. He says,
don't want to go there.
Don't want to go to Dragon Barrow. Strange witch lights hover over the Dragon Barrow at night. It's haunted by the restless spirits of the dead.
I say, excuse me, mate. Were you not just listening to the story where we slayed the lightning ball beast bastard? We do this for fun, man.
I'm impressed by your mighty prowess.
Get on, Sengo. Show me your tusk.
After a little bit of embarrassment, I show him the actual tusk.
There's a reason people don't like us.
So he accompanies you north a while and he says, well, it's been unusual, but I like you. I like the cut of your jib. Even the 6'7" drow and the bizarre purple dwarf.
Don't be racist.
However,
you,
as you approach Dragon Barrow, he refuses to go any closer. You arrive there about 4 o'clock, half 4.
What, like dusk?
Dusk will be in around an hour or so.
So, does he have any advice or any sort of like idea about maybe how to ward these spirits off? Like, do we draw a circle of salt?
Don't go into places that's haunted by the spirits of the dead, is my advice.
This is out of the question.
No, we've got a job to do. We'll have to go in there.
We are the interested party.
This is how we roll.
You approach a 30-foot hill rise ahead of you. Its top too flat to be a natural occurrence. Jutting from the grassy hilltop is a row of 10-foot tall torn white rocks that arc towards the stormy sky.
Don't need like climbing stuff to get up there, do I?
No, you can just walk up. Can you please make me insight check? 20 from me.
I'm quite insightful.
You are very insightful. Kalash, you walk up, you look down, the hill seems to stretch out in different directions with these great menhirs down the back, and the shape reminds you of something. Let me just share this sheet with you.
Oh, that's, yes, that's what that reminds me. It's a dragon. It's a very big dragon.
Could be a burial mound.
Of a bloody big dragon.
You've walked up onto the head, basically.
Or is that the way we've approached from the head?
Yeah.
I wonder if somebody was like pulling something along the floor when they named it that. Nah.
It's a very good thing. Sometimes these names, they are made.
Right, let's go at that centre one.
I hope we don't end up pulling out a sword that resurrects a dragon.
Oh, we should not do that again.
I want to go there, Rich, to investigate that bit, because that's its highest point, isn't it?
Yes.
And does it look like that? If you look closely, it looks as though there's tunnels underneath it, or is that just like markings on the top of it? Is it those like wall buildings there, maybe?
I don't know. That's what it looks like for you.
Right then, so can I investigate this stone?
Of course you can investigate the stone. So you start poking around the bottom of the stone, and it appears that there's a slight depression around the base of the rock on the top there.
Right then, so pull out like a little knife that I've got and start poking around that depression to see if it's like any switch or buttons or anything like that.
There doesn't appear to be a switch or buttons, but the knife does seem to slip down further than would indicate for such a gigantic stone like that. What does everybody else want to do?
Can I detect magic?
You can, yes. You cast a detect magic spell. The whole area seems vaguely magical.
So it's vaguely magical.
There's nothing specifically magical about the stone that Craig's digging around at, but there is a faint sense of magic from everything.
There might be an entrance under the stone.
Yeah, lift the
It
stone.
might swivel or tilt or something.
Yeah.
Right, it's a great big menhir, as you can see, 10 feet long almost.
That's what I'm saying, lift it, move it. Can we not all do that?
Yeah, you can all grab it and push it and pull it and tie ropes around it and pull it if you want.
Leverage attack it, put a javelin underneath it first,
All right.
and then tie ropes around the side of it, and then pull it, see what happens.
Could we try excavating around the bottom of it?
That's an even better idea.
I like Len.
Yeah, you pull out shovels.
Yes, so digging tools.
I've got a warhammer.
In a circle with your spear, you find out which parts of it feel like less compacted than the rest.
Right, go on then, Bessie. Give us an investigate roll. Just looks like a big rock to you, mate.
We could, of course, look at the mouth, because if I was going to make an entrance, I would put it in the mouth.
Does that mean there might be a
entrance.
tradesman's entrance up the other end?
We should check those first before we do anything else.
Right, who's going to the mouth and who's going the other end?
I will check.
Or are you all Scooby-Doo like going as one big party? Do, 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 do.
I am a rogue. I could do it from behind.
Yeah.
It is on the t-shirt.
I'll stay up front.
You head up the tradesman's entrance, Earl.
Yeah, I'll check the spines, and then failing that, I'll go around the contour.
Right, you can investigate the spines. Go ahead. You don't find anything unusual about the spines. They all seem firmly bedded in, unlike the one in the middle. However, at the end, there seems to be a depression, a rectangular depression, as if the grass has grown over it, but it wasn't the same level as the hill. You sort of poke your dagger in, and there's a clump of something solid underneath this small piece of grass.
I will whistle the chaps over.
And who's checking the mouth bit?
I will.
Okay, make your investigate roll then.
11.
You don't find anything unusual at the other end. But you also don't find any nasty teeth that were going to bite your face off, so that's good.
That helps.
Okay, so Earl whistles and waves you all over.
I'll go and say what Earl's whistling about.
I have found a thing.
Oh, I know what that looks like.
Thing.
I'll
Exactly.
slowly move towards them then.
You cluster round the rectangular depression about 3 feet by 4 feet in the grass. So what you doing, chaps? Come on, you've got options. We're getting close to the T-Rex rule here.
What's the T-Rex rule?
If you procrastinate for too long, you get attacked by a T-Rex. No matter where you are or what game system we're playing.
What I'll do is I will dig through the turf and see if it's like a trapdoor.
You dig through the turf and you get some people to grab the turf and pull it back, and there appears to be some sort of stone slab. There's a definite edge to it where you might be able to prise it up.
Can I cast Detect Magic on the stone slab to see if it's specific?
There's nothing specifically magical in the area.
Right, okay.
Is this the sort of slab of stone I would get my thieves-toed Jemmy under the end of?
I was just going to say that. Have I got a crowbar?
I've got a crowbar as well, so we've got plenty of crowbars.
Shocking.
You've got 3 crowbars, so I reckon you could probably get crowbars underneath it.
Then we should all attack it with our crowbars together.
Yep.
Roll strength check with advantage. Nobody bothers checking for traps. You just dig the crowbars in and start yanking up this thing. Go on.
Mine were terrible.
They were terrible. So the first time you try, it just starts to move and it slips. But then Sengo grabs hold of the crowbar and peels it up. And it's about 2 foot thick. He's managed to leave it up and crash it on its side onto the grass. You look down like Raiders of the Lost Ark, where they peer down into a dark, dark chamber beneath. So you look down into this chamber and you can see that it's a small rectangular tunnel, of which you can see that the floor and the sides are packed earth. You can see that the room continues to the south.
Anybody want the third gnome to go down the road?
I will go down, but first I will lean in and check there is no tripwires or traps within it.
You've got about a 10-foot drop.
But I'll do a hang and drop, couldn't I?
Why I make an athletics check with advantage. Yeah, so you do a hang and drop. You drop into a chamber below. The floor of the chamber is littered with bones. Darren, this chamber radiates magic slightly more than the surrounding area, because it's like you're looking down into it. And all you can see, 2 granite sarcophaguses set into either side of the walls. There's a passageway that leads south out of it. But you notice in the far southeast corner, there appears to be an old yet extremely fancy knight saddle in amongst a large pile of bones.
What kind of bones?
Various bones, you're not entirely sure.
Can I just check something, Rich?
Yes.
You know when we levered that piece of stone out the road?
Yes.
Was there like a stone frame that it was resting on?
Yeah, there will have been a little one, yeah, to stop it falling in.
Right. Well, in that case, where the edge of the stone frame, I'm going to put an iron spike in and tie a rope off.
Makes sense?
Just going to say, in case we need to get out fairly quick.
Is anybody else staying upstairs, or are you all coming down?
No, I came down.
I will go over and check them for traps.
As you approach the sarcophagus, the floor of the room slightly vibrates, and under the saddle, all of the bones start to click together a bit like Lego bones, and it starts forming into the skeleton of a horse.
As it starts forming, I will swap from my short sword to my mace.
Yeah.
I'll say, "Does double want a carrot?"
You pull your mace out. Do you do anything else, or are you just attacking it, or are you just waiting? Davey steps forward. Is that correct?
Yeah, why not?
I'm slowly drawing out my morning star.
The skeletal head sort of looks side to side. The way a horse looks at you, it's got to turn its head. It bows down and then paws the ground with its clinky skeletal feet. It moves forward and it looks like it's attempting to nuzzle Dave. It doesn't seem to be hostile.
I pat it on the skull and give it the carrot.
Okay,
Yeah,
it attempts to eat the carrot. Bits of carrot fall on the floor. However, and it seems to follow Shashalian around as best as it can.
Do you know what? Do you know when pharaohs and that died and like their retinue would get buried with it? Maybe that's where it is. Maybe it's night in those sarcophagi.
I will investigate them as I will carry on investigating and checking the traps.
I'll just stand back and manifest my shadow weapon as a warhammer.
That one you're on doesn't appear to be trapped, Earl, but it is just a massive solid slab of granite as a lid.
I will go over and check the other one.
Again, no traps. You notice, Dave, that engraved into the saddle is the name Lady Alangondar.
I think I made the history check anyway.
Yeah, you do vaguely remember that Lady Alangondar was a famous knight, did all of the famous knightly deeds. She was a famous apparent monster slayer. She led armies, that kind of thing.
Can I roll Arcana in case there's anything I can remember about her, like if she had a magic sword or anything like that I might remember?
That sounds reasonable.
20.
Yes, she definitely had a famous magical sword that she used to slay many monsters with.
I remember that woman having a sword. There you go.
You remember. You are a very good rememberer.
Kalash says, right, these are not trapped, but the lids are heavy.
Let's open them.
Do you want to
Crowbar them open.
You can't lift the lid. You strain with all your might. Your corded muscles stand on end. Sweat furrows your brow, but it doesn't even move.
Well, let's go further south and see if we can find anything that'll let us open that.
Give it a love step, see what happens.
That's enough. Right, with a mighty blow, you raise it and you swing it vigorously around your head and bring it down right in the centre, and the lid cracks in twain. Now that it's cracked, you can easily pull the two halves aside, and you realise they're not tied down or nailed or anything, they're just so heavy. Right, you break it open. Inside is a knight skeleton. He's lying there with his hands crossed over a long sword. Unfortunately, the long sword and his armour is long since rusted.
Well, let's do the other one. So let's all three of us crowbar at the same time and roll with a strength advantage.
21, you manage to lift the lid of the sarcophagus, and it slides down against the wall with a loud crash, loud enough to wake the dead, in fact. Again, you find a skeleton holding a sword. The iron has rusted. It seems to have been here a very long time.
Right then, now it's shown, let's move on. Well, actually, let's investigate the corpses. Is there anything underneath them or anything like that? I'm going to do that.
Okay. So you start desecrating the grave. You yank the skeleton knight out onto the floor and scatter his bones across the floor.
Like pick his head up, do me Hamlet impression, then just chuck it over my shoulder.
You don't find anything in the sarcophagus.
We are going straight to hell.
When you get there, tell him Sengo sent you.
Yes, baby. Let's just move on. Let's go south.
Right, Dave, as you try to walk forward, the horse follows behind you. Even though it's having difficulty squeezing between the down the corridor, it sort of keeps nuzzling you in the back. The corridor goes south for 10 feet and then turns to the east. So what party order are we going in here? Because it looks like you only get one abreast.
Right, our gun point.
I will sneak along.
Is that horse going to be able to fit in?
It's going to be able to fit in. However, it's going to block the corridor. So if you need to retreat, you won't be able to get past it without breaking it apart. Or
I'll go about fourth.
Craig strides forward into the corridor. You peek round the corner and you look south and you see that the corridor splits left and right and flickering lights come from around the corners.
Let's walk towards the lights.
Corridor breaks off to two corridors heading to the west. Two flickering lights appear to come out of the wall and they start heading down the corridors to the west. And they're sort of dancing playfully in front of you.
Well, I would do detect magic on them, but I'm pretty sure we know their magic.
Right, so they're facing away from us. Can they see us?
Yeah, it's sort of dancing playfully left and right, like a firefly.
So I'm going to put my morning star away and like approach it like with me hand sort of like open, so it shows like I'm no harm.
Yeah, you get up to almost touch it, and then it shoots and dances around the corner, and you can see around the corner that the lights are flickering. They're very fast. It's almost like chasing a little firefly.
Stop following them.
They seem friendly enough, and then it kind of stops, Craig, and it comes back and dances about in front of you, and then goes back into the corridor.
Teasing him.
They disappear around the corner. What do?
Follow them.
Okay, you follow them around the corner. If you see it opens up into a tomb, you walk forward, the floor opens up beneath you, and you plummet into a pit. The creatures immediately turn hostile and attack you. Right, so Craig, you're in a pit there.
Oh, is that a joke? I thought you were joking.
No, you fall into a pit. 10 feet deep with rows of rusty swords embedded into the floor. Nice. Right. You take 1d6 damage and you hit 4 swords. You take a total of 15 damage. as you impale yourself on the rusty swords at the bottom of the pit. Can we go to initiative, please? Kalash, you're up first.
I will run down there to help against those.
That is your turn. Yeah. Okay. Warhorse Skeleton goes. It nuzzles you, Dave. Next up, Will-o'-the-Wisp. Will-o'-the-Wisp flies into the pit and attacks Sengo. It hits you and does 9 points of damage as you are shocked. Next up, we have a second Will-o'-the-Wisp. It flies over the top of Sengo and attacks Rick. Always trust the Will-o'-the-Wisp, lads. Rick, lightning shoots out at you.
That's rude.
And crits. Oh, lordy. 17 damage.
17.
Rick, you're up next.
Right, okay. I will Eldritch Blast it.
Purple energy zaps out from your fingers and completely misses this small dancing light.
The one that is attacking me, I'm going to cast Hex on.
It gets all hexy. Are you wanting to move away?
I'm going to stay where I am.
Yeah, okay. Shashelian.
I'll hold my turn until Wee Rab moves out.
Sengo.
Got to stand up. Is it down in the tunnel with?
One of them's in with you and one of them's above you.
Right, so I'm going to rage. Pulls out Great Axe.
You miss because wisps are quite hard to hit.
Now I'm going to do a Great Axe, just a regular.
Okay. You hit, you rolled a 25. That's a critical hit, so roll your damage. You strike it and the blade goes through it. The wisp is wounded.
Is it a magical weapon, yours?
No. Next up we have Etigal. Etigal, you hear all hell breaking loose and you're stuck behind the horse's arse, basically.
I'll shout down the corridor, what's going on?
All you hear is like, ah! Zzz, zzz.
I make a one-word reply. Single.
Enough said.
If you want to move past the warhorse and Dave, you'll have to make an athletics check because you'll have to get down on your hands and knees and crawl past them.
I don't particularly want to move past the warhorse, to be honest. I'm a bit freaked out by skeletal things wandering about when they shouldn't be.
So you're just hanging on them?
Yeah.
Wee Rab.
Right, I'm going to move down to there so I can see what's around the other side of this pillar. And if there's nothing bad, I'm going to back up for the rest of my turn. So I'm heading towards Cal.
I'll take my move.
That horse will still find you.
The game effect is it's been a right pain in the arse. The horse squeezes with scraping of bone but manages to jam itself into the corridor, thus blocking off any escape from that part.
Could I take my move now, Rich? Because it'll make absolutely no difference to what's happening.
Yes. Kalash, you are up.
I will hit it with my mace. No, I won't.
What would you like to do for your bonus action?
I was going to say run away.
Unfortunately, you can't because you're kind of stuck there now. Dave, the warhorse nuzzles you. There you go. Will-o'-the-Wisp, 1. That's the one that's trying to shock Rick. It misses. And number 2, zaps Sengo, 15.
That's a miss.
Misses you. Rick, you're up again.
Right. I cannot manage to hit.
Anything else you'd like to do?
No.
Shashelian?
Can I target any of these with?
No. Because Kalash is a big lad and he's in the way.
I'll cast bark skin on myself. Probably going to need it later.
Sengo, you're up, old son.
So I'm targeting.
You do many attacks. You lay down the many attacks law. Miss.
Great Axe, just regular.
Hits. It is badly wounded, you can tell by its flickering. Etigal.
Right, I'm going to move to there. Because with a bit of luck, if I can come around that way, I can get rid of the horse. But while I'm on, I better have a quick squint down that way.
That way, the corridor heads round, and it appears to be the opposite of the one you've already gone.
Just making sure that there's no nasty corner up that way either.
Guard in the rear. Wee Rab McTavish.
Right, well, there's not a lot I can do at the minute. I probably can't even get a slingshot shot off, can I? Because the big boy's in the way.
No.
I'll hold my action.
Yeah. Kalash, you're up again.
I will smash you with mace.
Bring your mace down. Oh, he actually hits. You hit it, and it doesn't seem to be terribly badly effective. Dave, the warhorse nuzzles you. Will-o'-the-Wisp 1. That is going to... because you've both attacked it now, I'm going to roll high-low. Earl, you're low. Darren, you're high. Darren again.
Because
Hits you.
10.
Second wisp has been very badly hurt and doesn't want to fight you anymore, Craig. So it turns semi-insubstantial and it moves through Rick, through Kalash, through Wee Rab. You all feel slightly burned as this spark electricity thing moves straight through you and then heads off down the corridor. Right, that's Will-O-Wisp 2. Rick, you're up.
I will attempt another Eldritch Blast. Oh, actually, no. Am I close enough just to use a Warhammer?
Yes.
Right, a Warhammer also, because it's fancy magic, does actually cast as magic, and that is a nat 20.
Nice. Roll your damage. Ooh, 12 damage. That one's badly hurt as well. Right, with a big smash, you bring it down upon the Will-O-the-Wisp. What you want to do, Dave?
I'll just hold my action.
Okay, Sengo, you're up. There's one above you.
Right.
It's in range to swing.
I'm going for a great axe. Mastery. Deal. Regular great axe.
Miss.
Deal. And then the last blow.
Miss.
A miss for 17.
Yep.
Okay.
Right, what I want to do is I want to finish up there, but I want to have a quick peek round that corner first.
Okay. It heads to the south and then it turns to the east once more.
More bloody turns, no doubt.
So what are you doing for the rest of your turn?
I've got my short sword out, and I'm keeping an eye out for anything coming my way.
Okay. Wait, Rab, you're last up.
Is that willow that went past me, is it still insubstantial?
You can just see it, and it's heading towards the wall, but you're not sure.
I'll go after it then and try and hit it.
All right, give it a go then, son. Because you've got your shillelagh on. Yes, and I've got it marked as magical, so you take a swing, the thing passes through it, and you miss. Are we going to call it a night there?
Yeah.